Yeah, tough loss. Give him credit. He's a hell of a player, MVP candidate, and as many plays as he made down the stretch, I truly feel that we lost this game. Our turnovers in the fourth quarter, I think we had 4 turnovers or 6 turnovers for 10 points. So down the stretch, lack of poise, lack of execution, pick up a technical foul, just a lot of everything that could go wrong went wrong. Once again, I mean, if you're up 10 with 3 minutes to go, you're up 7 with a minute 12 to go, that's a game that you have to pull out. And obviously that's been an issue for us most of this year. And that's going to require a lot more poise and handling adversity. We did a poor job of that tonight.
What was your message in the locker room to the guys?
We got 2 more games. A tough way to lose. Obviously, a buzzer beater. We played really good initial defense on that side out of bounds play. They had to pass the ball into Adams because we took away all their other options. On that pass, we lost sight of Westbrook for a split second, and he makes a dagger. So, it's a tough way to go out. Obviously, the playoff hopes are no longer alive, but we have 2 more games, and we have to go on the road and play the right way.
As you said, you guys defended that last play. Westbrook, does it just speak to his abilities that he's able to get that one in?
Yeah, well, he took over. I mean, he drives, he complains to the referees for a flagrant. They look at it, they give him the flagrant. Then we pick up a technical foul. Then we leave our feet in the shot fake. He scores 6 straight points from the foul line. So just being disciplined, not leaving your feet on shot fakes, not losing Russell Westbrook, who you know is going to have the ball in his hands at the end of the game. Offensively, just executing, running the offense, getting the shots that we want, and not turning the ball over. So, obviously a very, very tough way to end the season at home. But that's the breaks, and that's been an issue for us the whole year, and that's something that we'll have to address this offseason.
Coach, were you given an explanation on Nicola's technical that he picked up?
Yeah, Kenny Maurer said that we told him to walk away, and he didn't. So that was the explanation I got. My thing to Kenny was with 2 minutes to go in the game. That's a tough call to make, in my opinion. When the game is hanging in the balance, and it wasn't anything demonstrative, it wasn't anything cursing, it wasn't anything over the top, and he called it. So hey, Kenny's a great official. He must have felt it was the right call, but obviously time and score and situation. I think players, coaches, and referees have to take all those things into account sometimes.
Knowing that you won't make the playoffs, how much of a positive step forward do you think you'll view this season?
It's tough to view it, as that right now because you still have the blinders on. You're in the foxhole, and that was a really tough loss. Great crowd, great atmosphere, and a game that we were controlling. But I know when I do take a step back and you look at all the positives, all the improvement, all the growth, this was definitely a season that we can feel good about. We're definitely heading in the right direction. We've improved in a lot of areas, and now we have to make sure that we address all the areas that we struggled in, especially on the defensive end of the floor. But overall, obviously, I think it's been a good growing year for us, and we're heading in the right direction. So that beats the alternative.
Is that the biggest thing you'll want to address this offseason is the defense?
Yeah, for me it is. I can't speak to anybody else, but when you're the worst defensive team in the NBA, and we weren't very good last year, and obviously, we struggled to make shots last year. We struggled to get stops last year. We added shooting. We shot the ball better. We have to add defensive-minded players, in my opinion. You can't try to outscore teams in the NBA. And it's great that we have one of the best offenses in the NBA, but if you're trading baskets and you're giving up, a lot of points on a high field goal percentage every night over the long haul, this can be a losing proposition. So, hopefully we can add some pieces to our team, and that can help us on that end of the floor.